Wow, none of this is recognizable. I guess that's what happens when you spend a year doing renovations on your house. Welcome to another episode on EITG. I apologize once again. I know you're tired of the apologies for not posting videos often to my 32 subscribers I believe I have. I would like to get more subscribers, and I know it's my fault because I haven't been posting videos. But today's build will be for a friend of mine. I will tell you what parts I have gotten for the build after the intro, but just know I have much more room to work around now. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and now Cassidy, or what do you call it, intro music. Alright people, so the build is going to be meant for virtual reality. We went with, I think it's mid-tower or full-tower ATX case, capable of using ITX boards and all that jazz. I wonder whatever happened to BTX. We also have, as you can see, an AMD Ryzen 7. We have 32 gigs, whoops, that was upside down, of DDR4 Trident Z memory. It's two 16 gig kit. This is the Gigabyte X570 UD. The reason we went with this board is to try and save on budget a little bit. This board does not require two 8-pin CQ connectors. Therefore, we were able to get away with buying a 650 watt EVGA. Should be enough to power this build. If he wants to upgrade, he might have to upgrade power supply later on. But this is just meant for VR right now. Walk around the camera. We have a 1 terabyte NVMe Silicon Power SSD. Has a 5-year warranty. That's all I can really say about it. Once again, I always recommend Silicon Power components. I use it in all my stuff. We also, because that board is slightly budget, even if it is an X570 motherboard, it did not come with a heatsink for the NVMe drive. This is a Thermalright little NVMe bolt-on thingy heatsink that goes onto the SSD to cool it down, because when an SSD overheats, performance is completely lost on them. There's a video where J2Sense did that. He had an SSD that had LEDs built into it, and they got so hot almost instantly it always crashed his computer. For the video card, we are going with the Sapphire Pulse Radeon RX 5600 XT. This is an overclockable card. It uses the new standard which AMD launched, PCIe 4.0. This card has 6 gigabytes. While we were thinking of going with the RX 580 because it has 8 gigabytes, this should be a slightly better performance just because it's using PCIe 4.0 throughput. Intel still doesn't have PCIe 4.0, even on their latest processors, and we're not going to get into that. One of the reasons I recommended Ryzen is because if he wants to upgrade this later, there is the 3950X, which this board does support. It said so in documentation on the website. I'll prove it if you want me to. Board is also completely PCIe 4.0 compliant. Can handle 128 gigabytes of RAM. The case, it's an Eclipse P350X by Pantex. He decided to put a little more budget into this. The original goal was for $1,000 for all these components. He upped it to $1,200 plus some change. I will put a post list in the comment section below, description section below, and where you can buy these parts, as well as prices. This way, if you want, you can go out and buy these same components and try to build the same exact rig. Now, please note, a lot of these components came off Amazon's website, and I did check 2 days later after I bought all this. Some components are no longer available with 2-day shipping. Some have dropped price and did that, and then some just aren't available. This is due to supply chains because of the current crisis going on across the world. I'll still post links because they will eventually restock. So I guess first thing we need to do is well, we're not going to unbox this first, because first we're going to get all this put together on this table, and we're going to test the hardware to make sure it works. I'm going to stop the camera right now. I'm the only person still doing this, so that I can get this put down and get this all set up, which will be recorded. Be back! Okay, I apologize for the weird camera angle, people. It is something I cannot fix. My other camera, where are you, has finally died. I've been using these for a lot of home videos recently, and hey, not bad for a $40 little camera. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is unbox the motherboard, because we're going to use the motherboard box. Put you on my bench down here as our little test bench. So once again, it is a Gigabyte X570 UD. Ultra durable motherboard, socket AM4, PCIe 4.0 ready. Once again, it's an X570. And it's ready for even the latest, like, Ryzen 9. Oh. As you can see, it is nice and clean. Oh, set it to the side. Go ahead and get this out. We won't be needing these. Who needs a manual, right? I admit I need it sometimes for the pinout. Oh, they still include driver CDs. Why not put it on USB? Most people don't have CD drives anymore. I do, but that's beside the point. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put this on down in here. He has requested, my friend Max, that I keep the motherboard box, CPU box, and the video card box. This way, in case he wants to upgrade later, he has the proper boxes to put the stuff up in. Me, I just hang them on the wall. Hey. And this is how you know it's never been opened. Wait, ow. Alrighty. Go ahead and remove the anti-static bag. Set the motherboard right there. Now, one thing I suggest when you first get a motherboard, and the reason why we're bench testing it like this, to make sure none of the components were DOA. In which case, if that has happened, this will be a two-part video. I am constantly in contact with my friend Max on Discord, let him know how things are going. He is asleep right now because we both work day shift, and it's currently 2:14 at night, which is why I'm a little wired. I've had some, well, not supposed to, but I've had some coffee. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and inspect the motherboard. Oh wait, here is the M.2 slot. Now, the weird thing about this board, yeah, I had to go through the manual to verify that this could use NVMe drives on it. You think it would natively use it, but there are budget boards out there that just don't. So, always verify that your components will work together before you buy them, or else you'll be waiting weeks for refunds to buy something else. Now, this board has one X16 slot. It looks like 3, however, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but the pinnage for these X16 slots doesn't go all the way down. It looks like those are going to be X4 slots. So 2 X4 and 2 X1s. And this board also has 2 USB 2.0 ports and 2 USB 3.0 ports. As always, your front panel I/O, an audio port, your socket port, which we're going to be using the stock cooler from a bunch of research I've done, aka watching Linus try to blow stuff up, Jay's 2 cents, water cooling stuff, and doing comparisons and stuff. Stock cooler for the Ryzen 7 3700X, which is the processor that's going in here, is enough for it. We're going to slightly overclock it by 100 megahertz, which should not increase thermals much. But that's later off. The reason we are doing that is because this way it will have the speeds of the 38. Wait, did they make a 3800X? I'll let you know in post-production. Has 4 slots. Once again, this board can handle a total of 128 gigabytes of RAM. Meanwhile, my measly little computer can only handle 64. Anyways, has this nice giant heatsink, which can I? Nope, they don't have it. I was hoping, hey, maybe another slot for an NVMe drive, but nope. Has a decent phase power design, decent cooler on VRMs and stuff, 24-pin connector, and like I said, one 8-pin CPU connector. A lot of the X570 boards that we looked at, almost every single one required one 8-pin CPU connector and one 4-pin CPU connector. Alright, wait a minute. This ain't good. This board does not include... We're going to look in the box again. We might have hit our first snag, people. Guess what's missing? We're going to take a look on the board to see if it's there. Because when I bought my Gigabyte Aorus Extreme, whatever, X470 board, the little screw thing, which we're going to count, 1, 2, 3, and here it is. This part on my board came in a little baggy. So, always verify all components are here. Now that that moment of uh-oh is gone, let's go ahead and get to the next step. Now, most people will do RAM, CPU, which reminds me, I need to get a knife. Yoink. I always keep a knife on my desk because I'm always buying computer parts. Let me see, how do I want to tackle this? Well, first things first, let's go ahead and flip this around. We're going to tackle CPU first. This way, when I go to put the heatsink on, I can see if I have to do RAM first or not. So, once again, we're going with the AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. Oh, that's the deal. Authentic AMD parts. Oh, yeah. Chunky heatsink. Comes on out. Little CPU with the pretty Ryzen 7 badge. I don't know if he wants me to put the stickers on the case. I will contact him about that. But the reason I say that this cooler should be enough to cool this ship with just 100 megahertz overclock. She is chunky. It has a pure copper block on the bottom with copper heat pipes. It's kind of similar to a tower design, but it blows downwards. The good news is, this board came with the little brackets so that I can use normal mounting hardware. I am going to clean off the thermal paste there. It is decent, but I'm going to put Arctic MX4 on there. Grab my Arctic MX4. I've had this stuff for a year now. As long as you keep it in decent conditions, it will last forever until you use it. But let's go ahead and get the CPU on in its socket. We lift the little lever up. Oh god, I've been watching Stress Monster too much on Hermitcraft. Alrighty. We'll take that out. Take this out. Important, please read. AMD Ryzen Desktop 3000 series processors contained in this package with all 500 series motherboard out of the box. compatible with 400 series motherboards when a compatible BIOS update has been installed. I've actually updated my BIOS on my personal computer. I want to drop a Ryzen 9 in mine. Yada yada yada. Just don't gotta worry about that. And installation instructions. Good news is, I don't need those. But it is there for those who are the first time builders. Always read all your documentation. I've been building computers forever. Case in point, later on we're going to have a little tour of my house. It's a tiny little thing, but it's home. So since my friend wants the boxes and stuff back, go ahead and set that over there. This over here. Make sure you get all the cables out for the right prism cooler. A little USB connector. A little RGB LED header. I am not sure if this board has the RGB header on it. Let's do one quick rundown. Putting the boxes up. So this way he has them. We'll put this in last. Okay, take a look at this board and CPU fan. Nope. Nope. This board does not have a header for... Wait. Got one on the bottom. Okay. It's all the way on the bottom. Fan goes here. This is going to be interesting to route. Good news is, it looks decently long. Okay. So, once again, we're going to put the CPU on the inside. I do have a grounding strap on my ankle. So, when you install the Ryzen processors, verify to the best of your ability that all the pins are perfectly intact. And then after you verify that they're all intact, there's a little golden triangle right here. Make sure you line it up with the triangle on the board. Piece of advice, I'm supposed to be wearing glasses. So, triangle is facing that way. So, very carefully turn the CPU around in your hand and drop it on in there. Now, make sure it actually drops in there. Unlike Intel CPUs where you should wiggle a little to make sure it's properly in there. If this does not fall all the way in there, don't force it. There's over 1,000 pins on these CPUs. If it's not going in, very carefully pick it up. Verify you have it in the correct orientation. Then try it in the correct orientation. If you have messed up or if you didn't, make sure once again none of your pins are bent. Very carefully put that down. And guess what? The Ryzen is in there. Alright. You know what I forgot? I need to get my rubbing alcohol and a cloth out of my car. I'm going to stop the video for right now because I'd like to get the CPU cooler done next. And my car has all my microfiber cloths where I've been doing a lot of work recently on that. So I'll see you all in, well, do the video magic in a second. For me, 5 minutes. Okay, people. Due to my back, well, being damaged and currently hurting, I am going to sit down. Oh. And yes, I'm in pajamas. This is my house. I am the Pajama King. Okay, back to what we're doing. This is a microfiber cleaning cloth. Now, it may not look like it. However, one side is fluffy, and one side is properly applied microfiber cloth. So we're going to go ahead and clean this stuff off. Gotta grab the alcohol. Wish I could drink, but once again, too many health issues. Here it is. Wait. Oh. Now, what I used to do when I did this is I'd use Q-tip and coffee filters, but I've been doing it like this for so long. I've had no adverse effects with my cooling that I feel confident enough to do it like this. That's a lot of thermal paste. I have no clue how all the builders on YouTube can constantly do this. I have some decent paste on there, actually. The reason why I'm replacing this is because I want to make sure it's good paste. This one was actually pretty decent. Another thing I like about this heatsink, it's properly scored. And then the heat pipes are properly lapped. So this is actually a really good cooler. Now, since he would like me to make sure that it has all the stuff, doink, doink, we're going to hook the fan up. Since this is my first time using a Wraith Prism cooler, guess what I'm doing, because I don't know how to do it. I am looking at the proper documentation. Close that so I don't lose it. Okay, so AMD installation instructions for everything. Let's see. And it doesn't have them. What am I to do? We could look up YouTube videos, but I know what I'm going to do. Like, since this is just for RGB lighting, and this is just USB, I got my laptop over here, I'm going to look it up. Yes, I'm using a Lenovo. No, I did not buy it. It was given to me. It runs... Okay, I'll admit it runs Ubuntu. That was the only one that had proper driver support for this laptop, and I was too lazy to try and get Arch or Manjaro up and running. Alright. Wraith Prism Cooler install. No. Ooh, how to install remove AMD CPU cooler from AMD.com. See. Okay, so that wasn't useful. Scroll down. Here we are. Let's see. AMD Wraith Prism RGB cooler setup and software. Gives me a video. I don't want a video. But it looks like I might have to watch it. I'll see you all in a few minutes. Your camera. The reason I watch that video is I wanted to make sure that I put the correct cables onto the cooler, because I don't want to blow the cooler up. So it seems to be rather straightforward. The reason why it includes two cables for the Prism cooler, it will light up just off fan header power alone. But the reason they include the extra two cables is so you can properly address the color on it. So this way, if you have a certain type of, say, theme going on, like a red flash on all your LEDs, and this was just without those cables, it would cycle and a rainbow effect. Picking up the cables would match it with the case, or your theme. Alright, so go ahead and get these on there. By the way, I will make sure to post a link to that video I watched, once again, in the description below. Oh, come on, little rubber band. Whatever happened to zip ties? Okay, so there's a little itty bitty 3-pin that plugs in to one piece. And then we have a little 4-pin, which I assume is, yep, it's the RGB header. Now, there are 2 ways you can install this cooler, which I will show you in a second. I just want to make sure I hook up the RGB stuff right. Come on, girl. Get in there. The good news is these are a very stiff fit, which in my opinion is a good thing, because it means they won't come free while the fan is vibrating and stuff and spinning and all that. Okay. Now, there's an issue with this. I have used this so much, this cap is basically glued on. You'll see why in a second. It is because this is a really big tube, about twice the size of Arctic Silver 5's tube, largest tube that they have. This is Arctic MX2 thermal compound. I use it on all my builds. Case in point, my Windows 90 computer, my servers, my personal gaming rig, my mom's computer. Yes, they still live with me. My dad's been having issues once again. So I'd rather them with me so I can take care of them. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a little X. The reason being is how this chip is designed that I'm doing this. It's so that it has plenty to spread out. And with how this has grooves within it, I want to make sure there's plenty so it does a proper spread. And once again, the chips in here, and how it's designed, there's a master chip and a core chip, which is the best way I can explain it for those who don't know much about it. It's why Threadripper is so powerful. It basically has 4 core chips on it, which gives it all the cores it has. Oh, come here, little cat, for my thermal paste. Try and clean you up again. Oh, blah. Alright, now the reason I said this basically has 2 ways to install it is because, as you can see, it only has 2 mounting points on it. So, you can have it where your spare cables for your lighting is one way, or the other. Now, considering how this is going in the case, I'm going to put it like this. Come on, girl. Give me my connection. Thank you. Oh, this is a perfect fit. Ow. Okay, I'm going to turn this so I can see it. There we go. Now this will twist like this so that it can lock it down. And make sure it has proper mounting pressure. Make sure you push it all the way because I'm not going to do it because I don't want to lose my spread. Now, sometimes you can get lucky. Hold this up to the light very carefully because this is a heavy and chunky cooler. And you'll be able to see if that spread was decent or not. And guess what? I can see it slightly spilled out on the sides. Good news is it's not enough to cause issues. That is a really chunky cooler. So, one of the reasons why I went ahead and did that first is to make sure I could, 1, route the cables now that I know they're there. 2, make sure I got plenty of clearance for the RAM. And 3, after I route the cables for the RGB, make sure that they plug in properly. Now, next thing I'm going to do is RAM, and then I'm going to take care of the NVMe drive. The reason why I'm going to save video card for last is because once I put the video card in, I can't get to the NVMe slot, M.2 slot. See if I can get you closer. Put you here for now. Okay. Oh. And one thing I like about this board, it actually tells you where to put your RAM first. So it's labeled slots A1, A2, B1, B2. It wants it in the A2 and B2 slot first. So, doink, doink. Put you back right here. Sorry for the camera moving. I hope I don't give anyone vertigo. Alright, now we're going to install the glorious Trident Z Neo RGB RAM. AMD Ryzen ready. Also, just so you know, these have factory seals on most of this stuff. If you order something and it's not properly sealed, not sure if you'll be able to see it, but it's kind of one down here, so if it's not properly sealed, it's open like this, I suggest you send it back for another kit. If it doesn't have a seal that you can see, try it. If it don't work, then send it back. Oh, come on, glorious RAM. Why aren't you in my computer? I want you in my rig. One day you'll be in my rig. Now that I've gotten that out of my system, it comes with a nice little G-Skill sticker, once again. I'm going to keep all the stickers in the little CPU red tray thingy. Oh, come on, girl. Open up. Wait. Alright, so the CPU tray holder is where the original CPU was in the tray. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get the RAM installed. Oh, these are so glorious. Deep. Well, considering I went for a special theme build when I did mine, I'm not that jealous now. Alright, one thing you want to do to make sure is that when you put these in, they align properly with the pin on the inside. So, if it's not going down, don't put too much pressure, but try to apply even pressure on both sides until you hear it snap like that. I'll do it again and stay quiet so you can hear the snapping on the next one. Here's snap. Just like that. And the good news is, this RAM, if he wants to add a second kit, I will tell him, I recommend him to go with the same kit that he got. Seems to be able to fit. It's got plenty of clearance. Alright, next step, NVMe land. Now, once again, I have an aftermarket cooler and an NVMe drive. So, going to need my tools to put this together. The reason I haven't ran these wires yet is I want to get this in there before I forget. Alright, so he wants to keep the memory box as well. Go ahead and put this up so I got room to work. Put you on top of the gigabyte thing. Give you the angle that I had whenever I did the Game Boy project. Alright, now the silicon power does not seem to have a factory seal, but, oh yes it does, on the right side. So glorious. 1 terabyte of Gen 3 SSD NVMe. Alright, we're going to pop it out. Alright, set that down there. Then we're going to go ahead and open up this thing. And once again, this is Thermalright. It is meant for 2280 type M.2 SSDs. Quick and easy mounting according to the box. It is an aluminum heatsink, so it's going to be shiny. No instructions. Good news is it just seems to be 4 screws with a little bit of play for different sizes. This is what it looks like. And it seems to use I'm not sure if that's thermal pad or tape. It's pad. That makes me happy. Alright, let's see. Go ahead and get my screwdriver. Not that anybody bit. This is when I was doing a phone repair for someone. The reason I did not record it is because it's a surprise. And they asked me not to record it. Woohoo! That part is, this is the right size for this. And it is a very long screw. Like. Now, the reason we're going with a chunky heatsink for the SSD, once again, it has to do with thermals affecting performance. Once again, I will post a link in the description below. Wait, come on, girl. You want to turn. You know you do. I will once again post a link to the video that I was talking about earlier, where Jay's 2 cents had that SSD that was going slower than like the first hard drives ever made. Quite honest, whenever I eventually upgrade to proper NVMe storage on my computer, I'm probably going to get the same exact cooler. Alright, go ahead and pull that out. So this should be straightforward. It should go like this. This plugs in like this. So this comes out. So, the news is that is a thermal pad. The only thing I don't like about these is the fact you gotta guess exactly where it needs to go. Good news is that looks about perfect. So, because these are, I know the sticker's on there, however, it should not interfere much with cooling. Make sure you're still recording. No, I'm a black screen. Good news is you're still recording. If it does impact performance, I will talk to Max and ask him if he wants me to peel that off. The good news is it is easy to peel off. So, I would contact him right now, but where it is 2:47 in the morning, I don't want to wake him up. Now, if it was my SSD, oh yeah, I'd take it off. Mainly because I don't care about warranties. Alright, now that that's on there, and it's properly covering all the chips. Wow, this is chunky. I'm going to go ahead and screw it back together, and then we're going to put it into the board. Boink, 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 boink. I apologize for the boringness of the video. Once again, I'm doing a full out record. I will post 2 versions of this video, which you won't see in the second version of me saying that. It will be time-lapse. And it'll say time-lapse on the video. If you just want to see me speed build. No! In the hole! That's what she said. Good news is I don't put these out for kids to watch. I could so see my revenue being destroyed at that point. Wait, this video was taken down because it is not appropriate for children. I didn't put it for children. Alright. Just tighten down with hand force. Do not take a chunky screwdriver and tighten this. You will regret it. Now, the reason why I measured it like I did, as you can see, the pins are free there, and the screw piece is free there. Now, let's go ahead and get it installed. Move the camera, drag the box back. Come here, little motherboard. Yeet. Give you some better anglage. Hope that's a good angle. Now we're just going to put these out of the way while we do the NVMe install. Now, something you should do is check how far you need to go, because not all NVMe drives are the same size. So I'm going to have to take this and move it down one. The good news is it should, and it's not. Motherboard manufacturers. Yes, I'm using cutters. It's not the appropriate tool. I'm just going to try to use them to get a good grip on this to unscrew it. Oh no, I don't gotta do that. I promised Max I wasn't going to do that. First thing we're going to do is take the screw out, because I just saw something. Pull the screw out. And then going to need a thicker head. But I'm pretty sure you heard that pop pop. That is because put my finger under there for pressure. This is a Phillips head on a Phillips head and a little bolt thing. Oh. So, Phillips head on Phillips head. Trying to make sure the camera focuses because I can't see the camera. Live feed thing. Alright. Now that I got that taken care of, go ahead and make sure it's in the right one for this drive we have. No! Don't fall! I'm starting to get really slap happy. And there we go. Now that that's in, we can slot the NVMe drive in. I probably should have done this first so I had more room to work. But it's slotted in. And this heatsink is the perfect way for it. It's so perfect! People, piece of advice, don't stay up forever. I've been up. Hell, it's only been 14 hours, I'm slap happy. Switch back over to the proper bit for the screw itself. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I putting the screw in? If it's heavy enough to hold it in, it's because the board's laying flat, people. Now, do not over-tighten the screw. If you do, you'll crush the PCB, and depending on how the SSD is built, you're going to have a very bad day. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to take our cables and install them. Now, the good news is, after I untangle them, this one's not marked. Well, it is with an arrow so you don't mess up the actual connection to the board for the RGB ring. But this one's labeled USB. So, we have a USB 1 and USB 2. We're going to go ahead and put it in USB 1. These are keyed, so you can't get them in wrong. That's installed. And then, let's see. Here's the LED header for the RGB. I will make sure to let Max know about the fact that he only has one header on here for that. Technically, there's a second one, but I don't think it has the circuitry hooked up for it. Alright, arrow to arrow. Not good. Wait, come here, girl. You see your arrows. Crap. Okay, so the arrow should be the power. Good news, if it isn't, nothing will happen. It just won't power up properly. The reason I'm not forcing this on is because of how little the pins are. Okay, now that those are done, what we're going to do is Put them down like this so I can get the video card installed. Now, I'm going to do proper cable management once this is actually ready to go and drop into the case. Alright, we have the next thing. The Sapphire Pulse 6GB PCIe 4.0 Radeon RX 5600 XT overclockable. HDMI, 7nm Fidelity FX FreeSync to HDR RDNA architecture. Oh, my back just popped. That hurt. Now, this is from Sapphire. Sapphire will always have a factory seal on their stuff. In fact, I recently just bought a new old stock Sapphire card for my Windows 98 rig. Reason being, it was the easiest way to get a hold of the drivers, but I'm using that card, and even it had its own Sapphire seal. Seal has been popped. Blink, blink. Now, let's go ahead and open up the card. Now, where I work, I'm still not saying. Also, I'm not affiliated with Amazon.com. Yes, I buy all my parts from there. I'm not affiliated with them. But the card is dropped out of the box. Get the card keys out of the way. Alright. So, pop, pop. Now, Sapphire graphics card quick installation guide. It's actually a chunky guide. Oh. Manufacturer Sapphire Technology Limited Unit, yada yada. I'm not gonna say it. If you buy it, you'll have their address. It's actually a representative card or something like that. Huh. No, representative in the country of origin. Okay. Set you aside. Very carefully pull this card out. Come on, girl. You know you want out. Make sure there's nothing else in there, and there's not. Nice, pretty memory foam, and I did tell him everything will be back the way I got it. Alright, here's the card. Once again, even if that was sealed, this is a nice card. Now, one of the other reasons we picked this card is it's already got a BIOS update out. Sapphire actually provides an in-environment Windows installer to update the BIOS on this card. So this way, it's not like NVIDIA where you have to do it using like command tools. This is able to update within the Windows environment. Or Linux, I think. So, the only thing I don't like is it didn't have a little thingy right here. But yeah, it also has a BIOS switch. And it takes, which I knew I was going to fight with this, one of these. And it's deep. Oh. I'm sad to say, this would put my overclocked 1050 Ti to shame. My 1050 Ti is overclocked to 6 GHz. Wait, sorry. That'd be amazing. No, it's overclocked to 2 GHz. Okay. Peely, peely, peely. If Max was here, I'd ask if he'd want to peel it. But I gotta peel it because I want to make sure everything runs right. Technically, I've seen where people have not peeled certain things. Case in point, heatsink bottom where it touches the CPU. And they left a little film on it and they're wondering why they got bad thermals. Yes, I have seen that. Now, my greasy hands are getting all over the card. But I'm going to wipe it down afterwards. That was not a decent peel experience. Make sure there's no... Oh, and there is! On the fans... Meat. On the fans themselves. Come on, girl. Okay, hold the fan blade. As you can see, a little peely. So both fans will have one. Oh, and some of the peel didn't come off. Looks like it ripped. Yeah, this is really sticky peel. Okay. Now, this card should light up RGB. Right here. So, there are some cases where you can put it where you can see the fan spinning on the card. I suggest, though, putting it here so you can see the RGB element. Now that that's pretty much set up, set that to the side. Wrong place. Let's go ahead and set it on top of the rest of the box. Oh, pull this our way. Push this slightly over here. So this way the little notches on the video card will hang. And then what I want to do is route it through the bottom of the video card. My country accent showing, I'm getting tired. Okay. Make sure the thing's popped, so this way the lock doesn't interfere when you're trying to put it in. And make sure it's all the way in. Okay, now that that's all the way in, we're going to hook up the fan. This one. Now this board does have two slots, CPU fan and CPU option. Oh, and then there's one up here for system fan, but we're going to ignore that. We're going to put this in CPU fan 1. This build is chonky. Okay. So next thing we do after that is we're going to go ahead and get the power supply hooked up. And then I'm going to turn the camera off. We're going to move over to my test bench over there. Not my test bench, but my Windows I Need area. And we're going to power it up. There yet? I'm just going to do the unboxing of the power supply here, then turn the camera off, because it doesn't make sense to hook it up and try to move two heavy things at once. Oh. Blink. Doink. Oh, beautiful EVGA. Yeah, I use a 750 watt in mine, and I barely push 300-400 watts out of my computer. And I'm a Ryzen 7 first gen. And the architecture itself has matured a lot over the years that it's been out. So it should be more energy efficient. Should. If you're not sure if your computer can handle it though, there are power calculator things, which if you want, I'll link one as well, that you can check to see if all your components combined over exceed your power supply limit. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Only thing I don't like, non-modular. Has a nice new power supply smell though. Gives you nice little screws, but considering we got a new case, boy, it's also decently heavy. Okay, we're going to pop this all apart. So, this is an EVGA 650 watt, part number 100-N1-0650. Make sure my camera's still recording. Hey, I'm actually down and borrowing my battery. So, this particular one has sleeve cabling. I'm going to undo this so I can show you all the connectors it comes with, because they never really have good pictures of that. Okay. Oh. Come on. Detangling cables already. Okay. So here we have the standard Molex connectors. There's 3 on this and 1 floppy drive connector. Next is 3 SATA. This should be... Yes, it is. This is the Two 4-pin, total 8-pin CPU connector. Another 3 SATA cables, which we don't need. We don't need any of the SATA cables for this build. A 20 plus force for a 24-pin power connector. And most importantly, the PCIe connector for the video card. Alright, I'm going to stop this video, and then we're going to kick over to the computer and get things hooked up and going. Let me think. Now, you'll see it in a second. It's going to take me a couple minutes. I'll see y'all in a bit. Okay, people. As you can see, it's all wired up to my monitor. So, what we're going to do is we're going to kick the power supply on. And wait to see if we see any light. Odd. Okay, let's go ahead and try to kick it on. And would you look at that? We have power. Power supply is starting to spin up. Now this should be normal. It's got to cycle through everything, and then it should work. Look at that! We have power! Okay. Control delete. What we want to do is get into BIOS. BIOS has been reset. Please reconfigure your BIOS setup if needed. It's going to need it. Oh, hey, it's the same BIOS I got. Okay, let's check on the PC health real quick. So all that's good. PC health. Yes, the case is open. Ignore that graphical glitch. That's my monitor and the fact that I'm using crappy cables. Oh, that's correct. Alright. So, I'm going to go get through this and get everything done. But first, let's make sure. Right there, we are good to go with the SSD. So yes, it does work with NVMe drives. I'll make sure to post that into the comment description below for the board on the Amazon webpage. Alright, I'm going to turn this camera off now to get things set up. I will talk to you all in a bit. Bye. Okay, people, so the BIOS and everything is set up. I still have to do the Windows install, but that can be done later because I have proven that the hardware works. So what I'm currently doing is not being an idiot. See, there it is. Slowly sneak my hand in there, grab the box, and oh, I don't want to come out. So that means I gotta pull the front off. If I'm right. Yep. That was easy. Ish. Oh. Is that how? Oh. Okay, I feel like an idiot. Sorry people, I'm not as talkative, I'm probably going to fast forward through this. There are plenty of tutorials out there on how to get these hooked up, get the motherboard and stuff installed. So to be honest, I'm just going to time lapse from this point forward because I don't have much to say. I'm getting tired. Oh, so the good news is, here this is. If I can get it out of the tray. Oh, cool. Ooh, sweet. Oh, sweet. I know I'm upgrading to. So, this case, just a quick overview of it, has a front lip panel, RGB, once again. We are going to have to buy an RGB splitter for this, just because issues. Yeah, sweet, those are spring loaded. Simply put, there's only one header on the motherboard for the RGB. There's no other way to fix that. So we need to get a splitter. Unless we can get lucky and see if there is a splitter in the case. So I'm going to go ahead and take this back panel off. One thing I like to do when I do this, remove every component. I love these little filters that are magnetic. Case prep. Wait, that's actually on there pretty tight. Blink. Blink. One thing I like about this case, the screws stay on the panels. Vantex. Those are actually pretty decent Velcro cable management things. Yes, I have the tempered side glass panel put up safely. Alright, take a look at this. Oh, my back hurts. So it looks like we will be using one SATA connector. The good news is they fed through most of the stuff that needs to be hooked up. Oh, this is gonna be pain. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, this is actually a really top tier case. Huh. So this case has screws throughout it, and it's only got 2 rivets that I can see. So this is actually a really good case to build in, because should you say, oh crap, I forgot to plug my 4-pin or 8-pin power connector in, undo the screws for the top panel, it slides off, you can plug it in, put it back, you're done to go. Okay, back to what I was originally doing, trying to see if we need to get an RGB splitter, or if we're going to get lucky and the case has one built in. And guess what, folks? We're not getting lucky. Alright, well, that's on the order list. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this like this. Get the cords we need. Really? They don't include a manual. I'm pausing this so I can do a proper look over this case. Okay, so there's no manual for this case really. I will figure it out as I go, but right now I'm going to go ahead and get the cable management of the motherboard done. Derp. Good news is this is just laminate on my table. So I decided to, one, put the camera down. Come on, girl. Down. And, route it this way underneath the locks, because the locks will still open properly. And then just bundle it up down here so it looks decent. I am using my own zip ties for this. This will be the cleanest, almost no cable build anyone on the planet will ever have seen. I do need to buy a case fan. It's amazing how far motherboards have come. The reason I say that is I've been recently rebuilding my original IBM Net Vista beige computer, which is Windows 98, and the motherboard on that has so many chips on it. Like, where this is nice and clean and smooth and you got a nice design, like, chip by chip by chip by chip by chip is all on it. It's amazing how far technology has come. Okay. Motherboard is ready. So it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9! Count them 9! Little stains off! I really need sleep. Okay. So, while I install standoffs, I'm going to get this securely put away on my little bench. Hope I don't fall again. And we're going to go ahead and... Oh, shit, I don't want to stand up. We're going to go ahead and get this installed. Standoffs, the whole 9 yards. So, let's see. We're going to need this and this and this. All fit back through this hole. I'm going to take a look at the instructions, because it does actually come with instructions. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's not getting installed though. This actually, since the Fantex case can use the Fantex vertical upgrade mount, and gives you the exact part number for it. Okay, so good news is this has digital RGB control. So, if this was a Gigabyte Aorus board, which I did look at, unfortunately took 8-pin and a 4-pin combined CPU connector for a total of 12 pins for the CPU. And I could not find anywhere online whether or not people have validated if you use a lower tier CPU like the Ryzen 7, whether or not it would work if you just use 8-pin. This manual is included in the accessories. Okay, I did remove the side panel properly. Okay, Fantex. If you see this, I was afraid I almost broke the front panel, which I would have paid for out of pocket to replace for this case because Max is really looking forward to this build. I'm giving him either 1 or 3 year warranty. I can't remember which off the top of my head, but I have it written down in the documentation I'm going to provide him. Ouch. The good news is this also gives you all information on it. So, the top can handle 2 140mm fans, 2 120mm fans, a 120 radiator, or a 240 radiator. However, I believe that means it could actually handle a 280 depending on how much room you got. The front can also handle 140mm fans. And yep. And two 120mm fans. And it can handle a 120 or 240 radiator. The back can only handle a 120 fan and 120 radiator. So CPU cooler height for this case is 160mm. Power supply, ignore that. They're all very short unless you go out the wazoo on some power. GPU clearance is 400mm. And it can handle an eATX motherboard. There is a... Oh, it just shows both right back on there. Okay. So, yeah, get this. To dismantle your case, you must first take off the side glass panel, which is tempered glass. Then you must take off the back panel, which is this side. And then you must remove the front panel by pulling from the panel below. But what they don't tell you is that the instructions are behind that panel in a little drive bay that you can only get to if you take the front off. Fantex, please conclude this in like a little baggie with a zip tie on the top of the case. Just the manual. I mean, this way we don't have to wonder. Okay, now that I got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and start getting stuff put in there. Oh, yes, I've built dozens of computers, but this is the first RGB case I've ever built with. So, once again, like I said before in previous videos, make sure you're recording. And in previous videos, if you don't know what you're doing, read the instructions, which is, as you saw, what I just did. Now, this is going to get messy. So, first thing I'm going to do is actually run the power supply. Just this way I have my proper cable, the cable management's all done, I don't have to worry about it. And because this is a really nice... Oh crap, they have RGB there. Sorry. You don't have to worry about really cable management for the power supply itself. It does have a bottom dust filter. Think. And here comes the first part of putting all the components in the case. Power supply. The reason I'm doing the power supply, even though I said okay, start from the beginning, Chris. The reason I'm going with power supply first is so I can get the CPU connectors up here, and then I can get the proper cable routing and stuff done. The reason I'm going this route instead of doing motherboard first, since all the components are on it, is because it's pretty much a cableless setup I'm doing for them. Like, this is going to be one of the cleanest builds I have ever done. Now, if it was like, hey, I got a crap load of SATA drives, hard drives and stuff I got to install, then I might do something like that. Like, I have to go to motherboard first, plan everything else out. Might take the motherboard out because I screwed up, or some stuff like that. Okay. Wow, this actually doesn't give you much room. Oh, that's amusing. See if I'm right. And I am. So this drive cage can be removed in case you need a longer power supply unit. Okay, let's see. Get the screws. Yes, I'm screwing. Screwing some screws into the case. Cable management and all that jazz. And I'm going to sit down because my back is killing me. Oh! Alright. Make sure I get a decent bit for when I do the power supply. Now, this screwdriver kit I'm using, I actually have a whole kit for it. But they're scattered all over my work table in my bedroom for my personal custom projects. And I'm pretty sure you all don't want to go watch me build in there again. I mean, this gets boring. So, but yeah, this kit, screwdriver kit I'm using, it's not an iFixit kit. I'd love one of those, but yeah. This kit is from Walmart. It's like 15 bucks. It's a precision, like, 100-piece kit or something like that. Comes with screwdriver, all the bits you would ever need, except for the game bits. Does not have extensions. This is from an older kit I had. Comes with a magnetizing tool. Comes with picks and stuff. Basically everything you need to do normal home repair stuff. Oof. Okay, so I need to get another hex head screw. Another hex head screw. And finally, the last hex head screw, which should be in this kit. Move it up, where are you? Here you are. Alrighty. Now the power supply is pretty much mounted. We're going to route the cables the best we can because these cables are not that long. Oh, you're getting set over here, pointed towards my kitchen. And I'm going to... Okay. Back to work on the case. No, my zip ties. I actually use the ones from the case. Okay. So... it has 3 slots for SSDs, but it's only got 2 of the brackets. I guess you could call Fantex and order one, but But I'm more along the lines of, let's see, anti-vibration mounts, and they're not perfectly spaced. So yeah, my guess is, wait, down, girl, ow. Give me 1 second, people. Sorry, we've had a rash of break-ins in our cars here. I just heard someone revving a car I hadn't heard before. So just want to make sure nothing was going on that shouldn't have been going on. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is locate the CPU connector. SATA Molex. So it should be right here. Now, one thing I do when I do all this is I try to get the cables organized for their runs. Now, one thing I like to do is feed this in. Now, what I'm going to do once it's actually hooked up is I'm going to cable manage it like that. But I'm doing this to give me room to put the power motherboard and stuff in. This is going to go derp, back in there. Thank you. Alright, so this will be the 24-pin power connector. And then this will be, okay. So this can slot through here. And then this will slot through here, I think. Where's the motherboard? So it's near the top. Best thing to do at that point would be put it through here. Now, what I'm going to do is get this I'll properly cable manage this after everything is said and done, so this way I know how long a set of runs I have for this thing. Okay. Flip you around. I really like this style. I see what they did. Since there's no bars in between, it's what allows that vertical GPU mount. Alright. Next step is to get the I/O shield in. Please don't forget the I/O shield. One thing I like about this motherboard, it actually has a PS2 connector on it. So you can use your Windows 98 gaming mouse and pad and stuff on it. Alright. Want to make sure the whole thing pops in. Now remember, this is a budget board. It's an X570, but we spent about $150 on it. So it's technically budget for an X570. Otherwise, this would have probably been designed or something like mine is. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to check to make sure. And they are. It's already pretty much set up for the motherboard installation. Alrighty. Oh, my back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on its side. Then move the camera for you all. To see me install the motherboard. You know what? I wonder. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Oh, phooey. Okay, so you know what we're gonna do? Hey, I'm not a professional photographer, people. I'm not a professional YouTuber either. If I was, I'd be doing this kind of stuff every day. Like, now you can watch as I install the motherboard. Now, this is a chunky board. Means this thing I should probably do this. So these are out of the way while I install it. Considering this case is not as big as mine, if I don't do this, they're going to get in the way. Because, as you can see, this is E. Okay. Get our nicely cable managed motherboard. Now I'm going to do something that's probably going to freak you all out. I'm going to pick it up by the heatsink. The reason I'm doing that is because that's where all the weight is. Since I'm picking up where all the weight is, it makes sure the board is safe while I do my stuff. There we go. Okay, next step is to get the screws in. So, let's see. I probably could have got away with putting the power 24 pin in the lower one. I might relocate it, but first let's get the screw down. Magnets. See which one it's designed for screw-wise. Like, each case has a weird screw setup. Okay. You see, on the older style motherboards, it would use hex head. Now, this particular one uses the same screws for SSDs in order to mount the motherboard in place. Now understand, there will be some slight motherboard flexing with this kind of cooler. So you will see this start to go down. The reason being is because of how much pressure this particular cooler puts on the system. Yeah, that's double check something, people. Yeah, that's correct. Huh. The reason I want to double check to make sure there was no... These are coded, so they shouldn't short anything out if you accidentally put a standoff where you shouldn't. But it's always a good thing to double check. As you scratch that coating, bye-bye to your nice and pretty little computer, because at that point it will conduct. Where do you think you're going, little screw? Now, the reason I haven't took any of those out yet is I want to make sure I get the right areas. So I don't want to take two out, be wrong, try to put the card in, have to buy it, yada 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 yada. One last screw. Which goes in the top middle. Oh! I almost lost the screw. If I would have lost the screw, it would have been like Linus when he did whole room water cooling. Oh! I did lose screw. Hey, see if I can find it. And I found it. Come on, Magnesis, work. And she's in. Alright. The toughest part of most of any build is going to be hooking up your CPU connector for your power to your CPU. So this, like I said, this video goes to the fact I want the customers to see that their build was taken care of properly and that things look nice and neat. Okay, sorry you won't be able to see me hooking this up, but it seems best if I hook it up like this. Alright, I'm going to shut the camera off so this way I can cut this out. Here you go, Max. Your computer is built. Now, the fan, really? Okay, that's just a slight issue that's easy to fix. I just have to, it's supposed to run off that, but it's not, so I just gotta hook it to the board. Oh. But, there's your RGB. So, yeah. Now to find my installation media. That's going to take a few hours. Okay, people. As you can see, the case is working. It's running beautifully. This case has a lot of stuff going for it. It's all RGB'd. So. Oh, wow. Check that out. Did not know that. So, the computer is completely done. It's all within spec. As you can see, it does have overclock features, even though it's a budget X570. The reason why it's a little wonky is because if you notice, Easy overclock, not supported here. But if you go back to here, advanced frequency settings, here's all the overclock stuff. See? So, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I apologize for the length of it. There will be a second one that is completely time-lapsed. This way, if you just want to, you can watch the time-lapse variant. I am doing these kind of videos for my customers so they can see a live feed, well, a recorded feed of the work that has been done. So this way, they know I'm not trying to screw them over. And I charge cheap. I charge $15 an hour for this kind of work, plus price of parts. I do charge taxes, and I do report all earnings to the IRS and all that jazz. Mainly because it comes through PayPal, so it's easy to do. And then I filed all my taxes. So, I hope you all have a good day and night, whatever time zone you're in. The next video will be a review on the Retro Mini. It is a little handheld console. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Like my video. Comment in the comment section what you thought of it, what I could improve on, what I could do better, what I suck at. I suck at a lot, I know. And no, not like that. So yeah, I'll see you all later. Time to get Windows installed on this, and that's going to be another 5 hours. Bye!